Welcome to episode 128 of This Week in Marketing Show, also known as the Trim Show. I'm your host Sajid Islam, and today I'll be going over the notable news and updates in the digital marketing space from the week of September 26th through 30th, 2022. So first off, I'm going to cover Twitter. Twitter has jumped into the video bandwagon with two updates or two features. So what are those? So first of all, first one is immersive viewing and easy discovery. This new feature expands videos to full screen by simply clicking on the video in the Twitter app. When the video is in full screen mode, users can scroll up to browse additional video content. This feature will be available on iOS and Android in select countries in English. Now, doesn't that sound a whole lot like Reels or TikTok? If you thought that was, then you are right. Yes, it is exactly a feature or a functionality that Twitter is copying from these other two platforms because they want to be in the video bandwagon. Number two updates for Twitter is that now they're going to show more videos in the Explore tab. This is similar to, I guess, what you see in Instagram or TikTok as of today. Again, what Twitter is saying is that the new video carousel makes it easier for you to find more videos that you might be interested in. It's next to the tweets and trends tab, and you can, this feature is available on iOS and Android in select countries in English as well. That's all. Go ahead, update your Twitter app and try it out. Maybe you will like it. Next up, we have, since we're talking about videos, we have, this week, TikTok has published their community guidelines enforcement report. And usually I do not cover this kind of stuff on our show just because, you as the business owner do not really have much to do except for, this is more for other people. But, I kind of, when I was looking through it, I saw there is a need for me to share the numbers because this will put certain things into perspective, and I will explain that after I go over the numbers. So it seems like in Q2 2022, TikTok took down 113 million video clips between April and June. That's the Q2, okay? Due to policy violations and other issues. That's an 11% increase compared to the previous quarter. And of course, as the platform grows, there's going to be a lot of questionable content, and they're going to take it down. That's number one. Number two, proactive removal of videos improved from 83.6% in Q1 to 89.1% in Q2. Now, remember in last show, I believe it was 127. If this is 128, then the last show was 127, where we talked about TikTok has a new downvote option, right? And the downvote option is going to allow their moderators to get ahead of the curve and take down questionable videos and things like this. So this kind of ties right into that, and I'm so glad that I chose to cover it last week. Okay, so obviously, TikTok has made a big shift and improvement in terms of removing questionable content and things like that. And also another thing, this is very important because remember this week, about 30 brands removed their ad from Twitter because their ad was found next to questionable content or child nudity, something like that. I just cannot remember what it was, but they removed their ads or they pulled their ad budget out of TikTok. So there is a big backlash. So definitely, you as a platform has to get ahead of this curve and do the right thing. I mean, I guess this is the reason why Google decided to not index any pornographic content. But that's besides the point. So basically, TikTok is definitely putting things, putting the right foot forward, doing things the right way, and do as much as they can. Third thing that you should be aware of, that in terms of account removals, fake account remains the biggest contributor with over 33 million fake profiles removed during this Q2 period. That's a big number, 33 million fake profiles. That's a 62% increase from the previous quarter. Now, as TikTok gets popular, obviously there's going to be fake profiles. I mean, there are fake profiles in Facebook. There's fake profiles on Instagram, things like that. Now, let's come back to why I'm covering this is because oftentimes we hear, hey, my content is on fire on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the numbers you see, I would say, you take that number and basically take 62% and remove 62% of that number. That would probably be your right number, is what I would say. Again, I am telling you that, if you ever hear like, someone got 10,000 views just because they posted a video and you only get 5 views, I mean, don't feel bad. Right, I'm here to encourage you to say, you definitely publish it on TikTok if TikTok is your platform. We tried publishing, it didn't work too well. We tried publishing it in the summer, it worked somewhat okay, and then we lost interest just because TikTok is not our platform for now. So rather than, I want to preserve our precious resources and focus on things that matters, and then TikTok, we will get to it when we get to it. Maybe we are missing opportunities that could generate more revenues for us, but trust me, we don't have the bandwidth. So I hope this helps you to decide and not feel bad about, not getting millions of views on TikTok. Don't listen to the noise. Focus on what is best for you and your business. Okay, moving on, let's talk about Facebook. There are 5 changes in Facebook call ads. Now, the first thing is get a callback option in Facebook call ads. This feature is currently being tested and gives the customers the option to request a callback from a business. Call ads in sales objectives. Businesses will now have the option to include call ads as a format under the sales/conversion objective in Ads Manager. Number 3 is 60-second call in lead gen, traffic, and sales objective. A 60-second call optimization option in lead generation, traffic, and to be released sales ad objectives allow businesses to optimize their ad to reach people who are most likely to engage in a longer conversation. I apologize for the, pronunciation mistake. Number 4 is pre-call business feature in Ads Manager. Businesses can provide additional context in ads to help educate potential customers, to help them make informed decisions before they make a call. And number 5, in-app calling. Facebook is testing a platform calling solution to enable businesses to connect with customers whenever they're browsing and allow them to continue that same experience within the app after the call is complete. Facebook says that no call information is captured. Now, I want to point it out to you that I am not a Facebook expert, but if you want to read more or dive deeper, there is a link to that blog post from Facebook on our show notes page. Go check it out. And by the way, we are now publishing our show notes in 2 different places. One is obviously on our website, marketandgrow.com/twimshow. And also we have a Substack account now. So twimshow.substack.com, I believe that's correct. And the goal here is for us to slowly migrate away from our website into Substack. And I have seen substantial growth of my show in terms of people subscribing and, signing up on Substack. So I think, this is something I should have done 2 years ago. But nevertheless, better late than never. And with that, let's move on to the next update. The next update is voiceover in YouTube Shorts. YouTube has added a new option that allows creators to add voiceover to their short form clips in the app. Functionality wise, it's not a revolutionary since this feature already exists in TikTok and Instagram Reels. Now, if you want to know how to add voiceover to your shorts, then you will find the steps in our show notes. Check it out. Next update is there are 3 updates to LinkedIn pages that I really like. Number 1 is LinkedIn now has created post templates for LinkedIn pages. So now, businesses have an easier way to create rich LinkedIn page content with customizable templates. Post templates are available directly in the LinkedIn app without downloading additional tools. Start creating a post. Tap the use template button and then customize the background, choose the font, add text, attach clickable links, and blah, blah, blah. I like it. Right. Number 2, pinned comments is now there. Businesses can now highlight their favorite comments on posts by pinning them to the top of the comment section, and you can change the pinned comment at any time to keep the conversation flowing or shift it in a different direction. And third is page commitments. Businesses can utilize a new LinkedIn page section dedicated to highlighting company values. LinkedIn will feature your commitments in the About section of your page. You can include up to 5 commitments in your featured commitments section, such as, you are a business that promotes or supports diversity, equity, inclusion. Number 2, career growth and learning. Number 3, work-life balance. Number 4, social impact. Number 5, environmental sustainability. I like all 5 of them. I'm going to apply that to our business. Why shouldn't I? because we believe in diversity, equity, inclusion. We have career growth and learning. We believe in work-life balance. We have a social impact. That's why we started this business. Environmental sustainability. I believe in the environment sustainability, reducing plastics, things like that. So that's why we are going to go for it. Next up. While we are still on the topic of LinkedIn, I want to quickly touch on the 4 new features in LinkedIn ads that got rolled out this week. Number 1 is offline conversions. Now LinkedIn allows that. This allows you to connect to conversions you track in other tools directly into LinkedIn. This is a must-have feature in 2022, especially because of the Apple's ATT update, the privacy update, as well as moving away from third-party cookies into first-party cookies, because there are conversions happening that is in your CRM, that is in your sales wherever you collect your sales data, and you need to be able to upload it to LinkedIn to allow the LinkedIn algorithm to understand and learn more about your customer. So this is great update. Next update is Audience Insight. The free Audience Insights now are now in Campaign Manager. This can help advertisers pinpoint who their audiences are, what they're interested in, how they're engaging with other content and topics. Audience Insights are available for both matched and saved audiences. It also generates aggregated insights based on topics and content your people have engaged in, but also job titles, years of experience, seniority, location, company name, industry, and more. So insights can be used to discover new audiences. Number 3, document ads allow you to promote long format content directly to your members feed, where they can read and download white papers, case studies, and reports without leaving the platform. You can also use a lead gen form to collect leads if you decide to gate your documents. Wonderful, I love that. Number 4, Media Library. The new LinkedIn Media Library allows you to create ads more easily by storing all of your images and videos in one central location. Advertisers can now create up to 5 ads at once by selecting the video or image from the Media Library, each then becoming its own ads. This is similar to what Google has also created a couple of months back, right? The central location for creating Google ads, the Creative Library. I believe Facebook also has something similar to that. But anyway, if you want to catch the full announcement, the link is in our show notes. Talking about analytics, tracking, and things like that, I thought it would be very important for me to mention that Google Analytics 4, the latest version of Google Analytics, is now supports form interactions. So basically, what this means, and it's out of the box. So what this basically means that if you have a form on your website, then Google Analytics will be able to track when someone started the interaction with the form, and then when someone submits it. So now this will be very good creating audiences. Say someone starts to create the form and they didn't complete it. Guess what? You create an audience. Someone started the form and submitted the form. You create another audience to kind of do a lot of fancy stuff. So this is great. This is great for lead gen people. Now, one thing I want you to know is that this is automatically enabled for all newly created web data streams. So if you already have a GA4 account, you want to go back in and turn on this option under enhanced measurement. Next up, from Google SEO standpoint, someone asked Google's John Mueller, hey, is speed a ranking factor? Google's John Mueller said, no, it is not. But having said that, doesn't mean you should create a website that takes 2 minutes to load, or you should create a page that takes 1 minute to load. You should definitely, go for something that loads between 2 to 3 seconds or 4 seconds at most. But don't kill yourself because it's 5 seconds and now you need to bring it down to 2 seconds and spend thousands of dollars. It doesn't make any sense. That's all I want to say. Definitely, because people are not going to hang around and let it wait for 10 seconds or 15 seconds. People are going to bounce back. But it is not a ranking factor. Next update is that Google John Mueller has basically come out the gate and was really brash about, hey, stop changing URLs because some guy said you need to change URLs and make them whatever SEO friendly by whatever. Google's John Mueller says, hell, no, don't do that, right? Every time you do that, it doesn't really help you. You need to do a redirect and things like that. The only person who really makes money is the person who gains from it is that, what is it called? The person who is actually doing the work. He or she wins the game, but very rarely that if you have a very long convoluted URL, You are not going to get affected from an SEO standpoint. Yes, users who may not be able to look at the URL and understand what this URL is. So obviously you want a better URL system, you want a better URL. But if someone says, hey, we're going to charge you $10,000 to change all your URLs and make it SEO friendly, run away from them. And actually, I remember a few years ago when I first got it started, some guy quoted, actually I remember a first client of ours, they had this SEO guy and he charged bunch of money, about $4,000-5,000 to change the URLs and submit their website to the web directories. And I'm talking about 2017. Now, having said that, obviously back then I was not an SEO expert. I didn't want to come out at the gate and be very authoritative, because I was just getting started on the SEO front end. I don't really have much experience on SEO. I only had experience with Google Ads. So I told him, I don't think this is good. But, obviously there was no official document, anything like that to prove it. So if you want the official thing, I have posted the link to the Reddit and the Twitter. Go ahead and take screenshots and make your case to your management. This is whoever is suggesting this is not good. Okay. Next up, someone asked again to Google's John Mueller that, hey, is there a way to measure duplicate content? Hey, if I have a duplicate content and they match 72% of the time or 80% of the time, how does Google figure out that this is a duplicate content? John Mueller says, there isn't anything. I disagree with John Mueller on this one, but hey, he is who he is because he's the face face of Google search in the community. But I disagree only because there has to be a way. There has to be a way, because you cannot, if not, Google would not penalize someone for having duplicate content and basically pick the one. But I would say, try to create as much unique content as you can. And this is actually another thread that happened on the web this week, and I didn't obviously put it as an update, is that someone asked, hey, how would I know that I have a good content? John Mueller said, look, if you think you should write, if you don't think your content is authoritative, or you don't think you're coming across as an expert in the content, then that means your content is kind of weak. So what this all means is folks, just write content where it answers the potential customers or users question or visitors question, and you'll be good, right? I personally feel that focusing on bringing it down to a science where we need to have an 80% keyword density and 30% of this, 20% of that, 5% of this. I think it's just overkill, and it puts you to a point of diminishing return. Write great content that Google can understand, the people will understand, that will delight your visitors, delight your readers, and you should be good. And obviously that doesn't mean you shouldn't write any of your focus areas and keywords that you are focusing on. It's just don't kill yourself. Okay. Next up, and I think this should have been up with where Google said do not change your URLs too often, is John Mueller is saying, hey, we don't penalize you for having a URL with stuffed with keywords, right? If that rocks your boat, please all do. But you know what? It makes sense because it's just easier for someone to save that content, someone to share that content and remember, hey, this URL is for that thing I was looking for, right? That's all it helps. Readability, it helps. But for SEO standpoint, it doesn't really help. Lastly, we have updates from the Google Search On 2020 event. Usually this event was more focused on the user experience, the consumer experience, and a lot of changes Google announced, about 12 or 13 different things. But I am going to cover a few items, 4 items that I think you should be aware of as a business owner, because this will really change the game. Number one, is now anyone on Google can search with the word shop. So basically you could just say shop iPhone accessories, and Google is going to basically show you a list of all Google iPhone accessories to you. So the shop is being the leading word. So you put shop and whatever you're looking for, shop space, say soccer boots, and it's going to show you all the soccer boots. So that's one. Number two, something similar to Pinterest, shop the look. It used to be only for apparel categories. Now, in the US, I believe, no, actually it doesn't say which country, which it's not locked into region, but you should be able to showcase other things, such as, actually it's only for apparel category, I misspoke. Users will we showcase individual products to help create an entire outfit. Google's tool will show complementary products on the main product a user is searching for, such as handbags, shoes, or to go along with a top or a jacket. Multi-search. This is number three. Multi-search lets you use your camera's phone to search by an image powered by Google Lens and then add an additional text query on top of the image search. Google will then use both the image and the text query to show you visual search results. Google is expanding multi-search to 70 new languages in the coming months. Google launched multi-search last year for English and US-based queries. So that's number three. And number four, multi-search near me, slated to be launching late fall 2022. The near me aspect lets you zoom in on those image and text queries by looking for products or anything via your camera, but also to find local results. So for example, if you want to find a restaurant that has a specific dish, you can do so as well. Now, why am I covering this on the Twim show? It's very simple. If you are following all these updates and other changes, Google is basically indirectly telling you, hey, Mr. Business Owner, if you do not have a Google Merchant Center account or Google Business Profile, you are going to miss out. Now, Google is not coming out the gate and telling you that, but me as the industry person, I'm telling you this is what's happening. If you don't have a Google Business Profile or you don't have Google Merchant Center, guess what? Your product is not going to show up. If product is not going to show up, then you're not going to get the chance to compete. And if you don't get a chance to compete, you lose out. Right? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Now, obviously, certain people will say, hey, we don't need Google Merchant Center. Yes, if you do not have Google Merchant Center, make sure you put the schema data, the product schema data on your website so that Google search can pick it up. But again, the easiest thing is to do is Google Merchant Center. If you're on Shopify or WooCommerce, I think it's relatively easy for you to do that. With that, you should be good to go. Alrighty, folks, that's it for This Week in Marketing. Now you know everything to be in the know. If you'd like to read more, make sure you visit our show page where you'll find the links to the articles. Once again, this is your host Sajid Islam signing off until next week. Take care. Bye-bye.